Manor Lord's first test patch is out for the beta branch, in which they're hoping to make some good changes. Now, to get to it, you have to open up Steam, go into Properties Beta, and you need to put in this password that will allow you to download it and get into the game. Once into there, you are going to notice quite a few changes. Claims being handled by the AI, it definitely is slower. I've noticed that the nun people spawning in huge numbers and refusing to work, the clogged trading posts, game being stuck at the summary screen, weak archers, insufficient saw pits, problems with optimization in large cities, insufficient work marketplace supply, problems with farming like crops, too harsh of oversupply, undersupply system, people and their livestock staying in homes even though there is space for them, and overly high ale consumption. So let's go ahead and deal with a couple things. First of all, and very weak archers. That has already been tested, and they still appear to be very weak. Can't even hardly take out bandits at all. So, not exactly certain there. As far as the claims are concerned, that actually does seem to be a little bit better. In which here is a game that is on just the regular difficulty, and this is summer year two, and they haven't claimed one. They normally do claim one right around the beginning of year two, and it still hasn't been done. So I think that has definitely been stopped, or at least slowed down. The saw pits, they did a pretty good job on those as they increased the storage from 1 to 5. So you're not going to get that clogging of saw pits. It's still going to be really good. Definitely have noticed that kick up a notch. Insufficient marketplace supply, I really haven't noticed it too much. It's probably way too early until you can get a much bigger city to be able to know whether or not that is working to its fullest potential. And to really go into the big one, and that is the trading post. Now, I actually have both of the perks for trade right now, and you can kind of see a little bit what's going on down here. 200, 150, that's not even the big stuff. Look at these. And that's with the perks. Without it, they are much higher. So if you take ale, for example, it only exports at 8 and it imports at 13. So there still are different prices as it's not the same anymore. I believe it was just cut down by 50%. So you export ale at 8 and it costs 200. That means you're going to need to get rid of, what is that, about 25 ale, if my math is right, just to break even. That's not terrible, but really to do trade, you're pretty much required now to go ahead and take the perks, be able to trade. The other thing is your tax. Here I have a very basic town, just got to a large village, and I already have a 120 tax immediately. With only 259 wealth, I really want to go ahead and expand right now, as when I build my manor house, I could take a second territory. But by doing that, it cost me 250 to put up a settlers camp. I won't even be able to pay my taxes. So I'm not exactly certain what's going to happen with that when it does happen. But that does concern me just a little bit. So you have very high prices to try to trade. You have a royalty tax that you have to pay every year. That's a lot of money going out. So as I've said, this is a beta test branch. It's not something that is even really live yet for people to go ahead and do, but it's just to test it out and see how it's going. I have seen some good things about it, but there is still a lot that needs to be done. I think these can be balanced just a little bit better. Archers still need a lot of help, and overall ale consumption, that we're going to have to see because that is more of a late game mechanic than an early game. Once you have probably about 50 population or more, maybe you'll start to see that become a problem, but early on it's not. So I wanted to bring you this because I put up a video showing what the first patch could be. That video was made 18 hours before this patch actually dropped. So I wanted to get this out there so that way people could not be confused by the two of them. So if I find out anything more in testing, which I plan to continue testing, I will let you guys know. Until next time, take care, and thanks for watching.